All right, everyone. I'm feeling a little bit better. I know the game last night made me feel a little bit better for sure. But it's time to move on. It's time to get past this thing. We fell into a perfect storm basically with Denver, and I think it woke the entire organization up. It woke us up as fans as well, because I was a bit too cocky, and now I'm not. I forgot about how good the NFL is, and I totally discredited a defense that is elite and that can, and game management is so key. And we fell into their trap as far as their game plan. And once we fell into their trap, got some calls against us, had some key injuries because we decided to start the game with four corners and we lost two right off the bat. A lot of things, and we were trying to force the ball to Dez and all that kind of things on offense that got us out of sync. It was just a lot of things that fell apart at the wrong time that put us in a bad situation versus the wrong team, and it led to it. And I said it in the chat once we got down on Denver. I was like, man, now we ain't gonna do nothing but have turnovers, because that's how that team is built. They're built to, once they get on top of you, then they're going to send heat. And when they send heat, you ain't got but a few seconds to get rid of the ball. And in those few seconds, your top three receivers are being locked down by number one corners. Not just regular corners out there. There are three number one corners out there on Denver's defense. So just think about that. You're trying to pass. You're trying to go back. Just remember the Super Bowl, what Cam Newton tried to do. You're trying to go back and pass and look and find the open guy when there's nobody open, and Von Miller is on his way to you. So that's the situation that we fell into with Denver. And I totally forgot myself because I was so drunk on how good we can be and all that kind of stuff. And I got reminded of how, we can look like a ordinary team easily like that. Another thing, I'm going to say this quickly. Another thing, it's time to move on. It's time to move on with the Romo situation. Even Blogging the Boys fell into it with the article. Are you missing Romo yet? Are you miss? No. We have moved on. We can't even let our minds go there. Somebody said it on Twitter. Said, how do you know that Romo would have even survived that game? And that was the one comment. Was like, that's so true, because that's what we were battling, Romo. This some kind of fake argument that it was some kind of battle between Dak and Romo, and the Romo people are mad at Dak because Dak is the quarterback now that he beat out Romo. That never happened. Romo was never beaten out by Dak. Nobody wanted Romo to go away. Romo's body could not escape that type pressure anymore, and he was going to get killed. And me personally did not want Romo to get killed. And also, I'm telling you, I don't want Romo to go through what Eli is going to go through right now, because Eli is getting talked about like a dog right now. His fan base is turning against him right now because his skills are deteriorating, and he's becoming a slow, older quarterback that can't escape the rush, and he's just back there as a sitting duck. It's happening to Eli, and that fan base is watching it, and I do not want that happened to Romo, because it happened to us with Troy Aikman. And those people that's old enough to remember it, all my Cowboy boys, it turned them. They couldn't stand Troy Aikman in his later careers because they got so frustrated with him. So you do not want that to happen with your quarterback. What happened to Romo is the perfect thing, and he's in the perfect career, and he's doing great. Just leave that part alone. All right, go on. Now it's time to move over for this game to next week, but there's some small questions that are lingering right now, and I got to bring up Romo again. How much of Dez Bryant was created by the arm of Tony Romo? Now we all know that Romo could create a wide receiver. Lawrence Robinson, Miles Austin, and to certain Patrick Creighton, he would make a wide receiver good in the NFL by getting the ball to him. How much of Dez Bryant was Tony Romo getting the ball to him in the way that he wanted so he can fight for it and all that kind of stuff? Because and can we duplicate that? Or it's that's kind of, because right now we don't look like we look like an average offense. We look like an average passing offense right now because we're trying to force the ball into Dez and we're trying to figure out how to use Dez. We don't look like the offense that I had in my mind, that you probably had in your mind before the season, that had this great offensive line, that we were going to run the ball and pound. You can't stop Zeke. You can't feed him. We don't even resemble that type offense right now. We look like an average passing offense with an average quarterback, with an average offensive line, with an average running back, and with average receivers. Everybody looks average in what we're doing, in the plan that we're executing out there on the football field. And what you saw with Denver, with the correct plan, Trevor Siemian can look like Tom Brady with the correct plan. Our plan is making Ezekiel Elliott look like C.J. Anderson. Or less than. You know what I'm saying? It's making Dak Prescott look like Blake Bortles. You know what I'm saying? It's making our top players not look as good as they actually are because we're not playing them correctly. So I'm wondering what's going on with that Dez Bryant situation, if it can work, because with every inch of my being, I want the Dez Bryant thing to work with us. I want Dez Bryant to get a championship with us because Dez has done everything right. Even I was on Dez in his early in his career, but he has done everything right, and I want the best for him, and I want him the way he loves Dallas, because my God, he loves Dallas. I want him to be in that hall, and it would be a great travesty to see him in another uniform, and it would be a great travesty to see him be in this uniform underutilized and not utilized correctly. You know what I'm saying? So both of those ways, even if he stays here and does nothing for us, it will hurt just as bad if he leaves here, and plays for another team. I want us to utilize Dez Bryant and get the most out of Dez Bryant and have Dez Bryant as a complement to what this offense does. You get what I'm saying? All right. Now, another thing with this offense, and another thing that's helped, before we signed T. Will, I was like, man, the Patriots got Brandon Cooks. I think I got the timeline right. But when that trade happened with Brandon Cooks, I was like, man, we could use speed like that. Maybe Cooks is not as good as we thought he was. Maybe New England got janked, because it's very weird for somebody to get rid of a young stud like the Saints did. But the Saints were making some very questionable moves this off season. But my point is, we need some kind of game breaker. When we were coming back on Denver, I'm like, we don't really have anybody we can just dump the ball over to, and he just takes off. And we can get the ball in the hands of a playmaker. Like Kansas City got a ton of them. Like Tyreek Hill, just give the ball to Tyreek Hill, let him go. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have anything like that, and I think our offense kind of needs something like that. The last little ingredient. I know Ryan Switzer is going to be able to be some of that, but I just need that big time deep threat that's going to stretch our defense, take those safeties off of what they're doing by loading the box and all that kind of stuff. So we just wanted to throw that out there. And the last thing, the only thing that's bothering me, and I said this video or whatever, is the only thing that's really bothering me about this season, and I feel like it's really affecting two things. It's affecting our play calling, because I think it's why we're becoming a passing team, because we're trying to get better at it, which I'm kind of, if we got to take an L to get better at passing, I'm kind of okay with it. And it seemed like it's really affecting Ezekiel Elliott. But this cloud and this investigation is killing me. And it's really bothersome, because it has nothing to do with you and me. It has nothing to do with the Dallas Cowboys organization. Because like I said in my live stream, I said that the Dallas Cowboys did not have any red flags with Ezekiel Elliott. There was no like, oh man, he could be a domestic, when we got, kind of like Randy Gregory. We can't feel bad that Randy Gregory failed his 7th drug test, because we knew what we were getting when we drafted him. That wasn't the same with Ezekiel Elliott. So either Ezekiel Elliott has screwed us over with horrible behavior, the female in question has screwed us over with horrible behavior, or the NFL is screwing us over with horrible behavior. But that is a fact that one of those three has screwed us over and is currently screwing us over. It could be all three. It could be, and it's probably more likely all three at different degrees. But that is a fact that we didn't put this situation on us. This situation happened by some outside forces. If it's Zeke, then we can accept that and we can take it and we can either cut him or do whatever we need to do with Zeke. And completely is accepted. If it's these other two entities, then I don't want it. It has nothing to do with me. You can't make us pay for that. You can't make us pay for that as Dallas Cowboys. But right now, the Dallas Cowboys organization is paying a significant price in this situation, and we had nothing to do with it. All right, guys, holla at you. Peace.